You've probably felt it before. That quiet doubt that slips in when you start to question whether your small efforts mean anything at all. You wake up early one morning, decide to stretch instead of scroll, drink a glass of water with intention, whisper a word of gratitude before stepping into your day. And by nightfall, nothing seems to have changed. The same problems remain, the same thoughts return, the same routines repeat. It feels pointless. So you ask yourself, is this really doing anything? Here's what nobody told you. Reality doesn't change because of speed. It changes because of signal. Every small act, every tiny choice toward your better self is sending out a signal, a frequency, a vibration that moves through the invisible field of your life. You can't see it, but it's there. It's what I call the quantum ripple effect, the unseen wave that begins every time you act from intention instead of habit. Nothing stands alone. Every decision you make sends a message to your future. Each moment of awareness is a broadcast shaping the reality you step into next. Imagine standing beside a still lake. You lift a single stone and drop it into the water. You barely hear a sound, but the ripples travel outward in every direction. They reach edges you can't see. They shift the surface of the entire lake. This is what happens when you choose differently, when you pause before reacting, when you speak with kindness instead of judgment, when you decide to begin again, even after failing yesterday. The universe isn't measuring the size of your action. It's reading the purity of the energy behind it. Most people misunderstand this. They think the field listens only when effort is big, when emotion is high, when results are visible. But the field isn't deaf to quiet consistency. It's responding every second to the rhythm of your choices. It doesn't react to drama. It responds to coherence. The steadier the signal, the faster reality aligns. It's not about doing more. It's about being steady. The smallest habit repeated with full presence carries more power than 1,000 inconsistent bursts of effort. Think about this. You choose one glass of water with gratitude instead of reaching for sugar. You breathe once before answering a message that might trigger you. You speak one kind word to yourself instead of criticism. These seem like nothing. But in quantum terms, they are everything. Because energy accumulates, frequency compounds. Those invisible ripples merge into currents that shift the course of your life. It may take days before you notice, but the field noticed immediately. The moment you acted from awareness, you changed the trajectory of your vibration. Here's the secret most people never learn. Reality doesn't mirror what you want. It mirrors what you repeatedly broadcast. Your field doesn't care about motivation. It cares about pattern. It registers what you send out over and over again until that pattern becomes identity. Every time you make a conscious choice, you strengthen that identity. Every time you repeat that choice, you teach the field who you are. So over time, your external world begins rearranging itself to match the signal you've stabilized within. So if you ever think your efforts are too small to matter, remember this. The universe doesn't count the size of your movement. It measures the strength of your frequency. A quiet moment of gratitude can carry the same weight as hours of forced positivity if it's real. One genuine breath can ripple farther than 100 mechanical affirmations. Because the field understands sincerity, it understands coherence. It understands energy that matches intention. Change is never a straight line. It's a rhythm. Some days the ripples are gentle. Some days they crash against resistance. But even when you can't see them, they're moving. Every small act of self-respect, every decision made in awareness, every repetition of a better thought is part of that movement. The key is not perfection. The key is persistence with presence. To show up again, to choose again, to breathe again. That's how consistency becomes identity. That's how identity becomes vibration. That's how vibration becomes reality. You don't need to wait for a dramatic transformation. You just need to trust the invisible process of accumulation. Every small, sincere action plants an energetic seed. The field waters it with alignment until the bloom appears in form. It might take time. It might seem slow. But nothing genuine is ever lost. Every conscious moment adds to the total. Every repetition strengthens the wave. And one day you look up, and everything around you mirrors the quiet choices you've been making all along. So the next time you doubt whether your morning routine matters, whether that tiny act of discipline is worth it, remember the lake. Remember the ripple. Remember that energy never disappears. It multiplies, it echoes, it returns amplified. You are always transmitting something. The question is, what do you want the field to hear? Every choice you make is an answer. Every habit is a message, and every ripple is a step toward the version of you already waiting in the frequency of consistency. There's a reason most people never stay consistent. It's not because they lack discipline, it's because they keep chasing intensity instead of alignment. They try to force change with bursts of energy that burn out before the pattern forms. They sprint for 3 days, collapse for 10, and call it failure. But real transformation doesn't come from extreme action. It comes from stable frequency, from becoming a steady signal the field can recognize, from turning what you do occasionally into who you are consistently. The truth is, consistency isn't about doing more. It's about doing small things without breaking the signal. It's about showing up even when it feels pointless, even when the mood is gone, even when results are invisible. Because what you repeat when no one is watching is what programs your reality. The field listens when you whisper through your actions, not when you shout through your goals. Energy understands rhythm. The universe is built on it. The heartbeat, the tides, the breath, the rotation of planets. Everything moves in steady repetition. Nothing forces, nothing rushes. Everything simply returns again and again. This is the pattern of life itself. So when you choose to build small habits that align with who you wish to become, you're not just improving your routine. You're syncing yourself with the fundamental rhythm of the universe. You're matching its pulse. You're becoming coherent with creation itself. The problem is that humans are addicted to drama. We crave visible proof. We want fireworks. We want transformation to be loud and obvious. But in truth, the universe works quietly. It whispers change through subtle alignment. It adjusts reality beneath the surface, long before the results appear. And those who can stay consistent through silence, through boredom, through uncertainty, those are the ones who master the field. Because they understand that the energy of patience is the energy of power. Let's be real. You won't feel motivated every day. You won't feel inspired every morning. Some days will feel heavy. Some days will feel dull. But those are the days that matter the most. Because every time you act in alignment without emotional reward, you strengthen your energetic authority. You're proving to the field that your vibration isn't dependent on mood or circumstance. You're choosing to be the cause, not the effect. And that's the moment you become powerful. You see, reality is always responding to who you are being, not what you are wanting. When you keep showing up, when you keep doing the thing that aligns with your higher self, even when it feels meaningless, you collapse old timelines and stabilize new ones. You're sending a message into the quantum field saying, "This is who I am now." And once that signal is steady enough, reality rearranges itself to match. This is how habits become portals, small repeated actions that open new energetic realities. Most people stop before the ripple reaches the shore. They mistake silence for stagnation. But energy doesn't disappear just because it's invisible. It gathers. It compounds. It accumulates beneath the surface until the vibration becomes strong enough to break through matter. That's when you see results. That's when everything begins to move at once. And people call it luck. But it's not luck. It's consistency finally becoming visible. It's the quantum field responding to a signal it can no longer ignore. The trick is to stop measuring progress through sight. You measure through feeling, through alignment, through that quiet inner knowing that you are honoring the signal even when no one else can see it. That's how you stay consistent. You stop chasing motivation and start embodying stability. You trust the invisible feedback of energy. You trust that what you do in presence will always echo back in form. So when you wake up tomorrow and your mind tells you it doesn't matter, when the voice of doubt says one day off won't change anything, remember this. The field doesn't count the effort. It measures the interruption. One missed day isn't failure, but it's a break in rhythm. And rhythm is everything. The more continuous the vibration, the faster the alignment. The longer the signal holds, the deeper it imprints. Consistency isn't just repetition. It's uninterrupted resonance. Your small habits are not mechanical acts. They are energetic declarations. Every glass of water, every conscious breath, every moment of gratitude, every pause before reacting, these are all ways of saying to the universe, I am here, I am aware, I am in control of my vibration. You are no longer living reactively. You are creating deliberately. You are not waiting for proof. You are becoming the proof. And the moment you stop chasing and start being, the field responds. Life begins to meet you where you are, not where you wish you were. The right people show up. The right ideas surface. The path that once seemed random starts to feel guided. Not because the universe suddenly favors you, but because you finally matched its language, consistency. The signal has stabilized. The frequency has locked in. And now everything begins to ripple back. There comes a point where consistency stops feeling like effort and starts feeling like identity. It's no longer something you're trying to do. It becomes who you are. This is the turning point. The moment when repetition transforms into embodiment. The moment when your actions no longer require discipline because your energy has accepted the pattern as natural. You no longer need to remind yourself. You simply align. The signal has stabilized, and now it's broadcasting effortlessly. This is what true change feels like. It's subtle. It's quiet. It's not a celebration. It's a shift. You realize that the things that once felt like work are now automatic expressions of who you've become. The habits you used to force are now extensions of your vibration. This is what people misunderstand about mastery. It's not about how hard you push. It's about how consistently you align until alignment becomes your default state. That's how you create a new timeline, not through struggle, but through sustained coherence. And here's the secret that changes everything. When your habits become identity, your energy stops oscillating. You stop sending mixed signals to the field. You no longer broadcast doubt and desire at the same time. You no longer create interference in your frequency. You become one clear vibration. And that's when manifestation speeds up, because the field doesn't have to guess who you are anymore. It knows, it recognizes your pattern. It mirrors it back with precision. The human mind resists this stage because it feels too simple. It wants challenge. It wants drama. It wants to feel like growth must always hurt. But in truth, evolution is a process of gentle stabilization. It's not supposed to be exhausting. It's supposed to be natural. The struggle only exists when you fight your own rhythm. When you try to maintain two identities at once, the old self that wants comfort and the new self that requires expansion. But when you choose one frequency and hold it without wavering, peace replaces effort. You might notice that people around you start reacting differently. Conversations shift. Opportunities appear. Energy feels smoother. This isn't coincidence. This is the field reorganizing around your new signal. Every interaction you have is a mirror reflecting your internal consistency. When you hold steady energy, the external world has no choice but to match it. Chaos begins to fade, not because life became easier, but because your vibration became stronger. The noise cannot distort what is stable. Here's something most people never realize. You are not becoming consistent to get results. You are becoming consistent to become clear. And clarity is what creates results. When your signal is pure, the field moves without resistance. When your energy is scattered, it hesitates. It waits for coherence. It waits for commitment. Because the universe doesn't deliver based on effort. It delivers based on energetic certainty. You can't fake that. You can't rush that. You can only build it through repetition, through showing up again and again until the energy believes you. And this is where most people quit. They reach the space between becoming and being. The energy is shifting, but the form hasn't caught up yet. It feels like nothing is happening. It feels empty. This is the void, the place between timelines, the space where the old vibration is gone, but the new one hasn't fully materialized. Most turn back here because it feels uncomfortable. But those who understand energy know that this is the most sacred stage of transformation. It's where the universe is recalibrating everything around you. The void isn't punishment. It's integration. It's the moment where your new vibration anchors into the field. You are being tested, not by circumstance, but by resonance. Can you hold the frequency, even when the results are invisible? Can you stay consistent when nothing around you validates your choice? This is where true power forms. Because once you hold the vibration without external proof, the field has no choice but to reflect it. It's universal law. What you stabilize internally must manifest externally. So don't fear the stillness. Don't mistake silence for absence. The field is listening. The energy is rearranging. The ripple is expanding. The longer you hold your consistency through the quiet, the louder the results will echo when they arrive. Every repetition is building momentum you can't yet see. Every small act is deepening your coherence. You are literally teaching reality a new pattern, and once that pattern becomes stable, nothing can uncreate it. This is why consistency is not about force, it's about faith in frequency. The belief that the signal you're sending matters, even when there's no immediate feedback. Because once your vibration becomes steady enough, manifestation becomes effortless. Not because life suddenly becomes easy, but because you've become aligned. You are no longer chasing change. You are radiating it. The quantum ripple you've been creating all along has reached the edges of your life, and now it's returning amplified. So when you reach that space where everything feels quiet, where progress seems invisible, and you're tempted to stop, remind yourself, the stillness is proof that alignment is working. You're not going backward, you're stabilizing forward. You're anchoring your new frequency into reality. And when the wave returns, it won't come as small signs. It will come as confirmation that the signal has been received. The field was never ignoring you. It was synchronizing with you. There comes a moment when everything that once felt separate begins to connect. Every small act, every quiet effort, every invisible ripple you've been sending out suddenly starts to converge. Life begins to respond in ways you can't logically explain. Opportunities unfold without force. Synchronicities appear like signposts guiding you forward. People cross your path at the exact moment you're ready. It's not coincidence. It's coherence. It's your consistency returning in form. This is the moment you realize that nothing you did was ever wasted. Every repetition mattered. Every silent choice carried energy. Every time you showed up despite doubt, the universe was taking notes. Every act of presence was a deposit into your frequency account. And now the return has arrived, not because you forced it, but because you became it. The field has recognized your stability. You are no longer hoping for alignment. You are radiating alignment. You are no longer asking for change. You are embodying it. And here's the truth most people never reach. Consistency isn't about discipline anymore. It's about identity. It's about who you've become through every repetition of awareness. The person who used to rely on motivation doesn't exist now. You've evolved beyond the need for reminders. You move differently. You speak differently. You think with clarity instead of reaction. You've become the vibration that used to feel out of reach. And this is where manifestation becomes natural, because you've stopped trying to attract what you now already are. The ripple has turned into a current. The energy that once felt like effort is now flow. What used to require conscious choice now happens automatically. You've rewritten the code of your reality. And the most beautiful part is that it all started with the smallest decisions, the things no one saw, the moments no one applauded, the quiet repetitions that built your foundation one breath at a time. That's the irony of transformation. The biggest shifts are always born from the smallest acts, repeated with unwavering presence. And now you understand the secret. Consistency isn't about doing the same thing every day. It's about holding the same vibration every day. The action can change, but the energy must stay pure. It's the frequency behind your effort that determines what manifests, not the effort itself. When your energy stays steady, even your pauses are productive. Even your rest creates alignment, because the field isn't measuring motion. It's measuring coherence. You've reached a point where your vibration carries memory. It remembers the rhythm you've trained it to hold. You've built momentum that doesn't vanish when you stop. It continues to move beneath the surface, expanding, creating, aligning. You don't lose progress when you rest. You lose progress only when you disconnect from the signal. That's why awareness is everything. Awareness keeps you tethered to the frequency you've built. Awareness keeps your ripple alive. This is where you begin to live deliberately. You no longer wait for signs. You become the sign. You no longer ask if you're on the right path. You know you are because the path moves with you. You no longer need to chase outcomes because the outcomes are now magnetic to your vibration. This is the ultimate freedom. When your inner world and outer world begin to move in harmony, when thought and reality mirror each other without resistance, and it all began with the smallest shift. A decision to stay consistent, a choice to believe that small habits matter, that the ripple you couldn't see was still moving. And now you see how powerful that choice truly was. Every act of presence has multiplied. Every repetition has returned. Every moment of faith has built this frequency you now live inside. The ripple became a wave, the wave became a current, and the current became your new reality. But here's the final truth. The process never ends. The ripple doesn't stop once it returns. It keeps expanding, touching new layers of possibility. Each level of consistency becomes the foundation for the next. Each stabilized frequency opens a higher one. You are not done. You are evolving infinitely. Every new habit you form, every conscious decision you make, sends out another wave, another ripple, another echo through the field, and each one shapes the next version of you waiting in potential. So don't stop now. Don't look back to measure how far you've come. Keep moving forward in trust. Keep creating ripples. Keep honoring the small moments, because they are the quantum roots of everything visible. Your consistency is your creation power. Your awareness is your control panel. Your vibration is your signature. Every time you choose presence over autopilot, you're sculpting reality in real time. You are the creator and the created, the signal and the receiver, the wave and the ripple all at once. So breathe. Feel the power of every small act. Know that every repetition carries meaning, even when you can't see its reflection yet. Stay consistent, not because you're chasing results, but because you understand that every moment of awareness is rewriting the fabric of your reality. That's the quantum ripple effect. It's not just about habits. It's about harmony. It's about remembering that energy never forgets, and that the smallest consistent vibration, held with intention, can move the universe itself.